Hi, and welcome to your yoga practice today. I'm Sarah, and so glad you're here to practice with me. Grab your mat and let's get started. We're going to start hanging in a ragdoll pose at the front of your mat, feet hip width distance apart. Bend your knees and start to melt your belly over the thighs. Let your head go. And so for ragdoll, you hook your thumbs in your elbow creases, and then with your hands, you drag your elbows down, like you're trying to connect your underarms toward your knees. So bend your knees a little more, ease the belly down over the thighs, let the head hang, and let the weight of the forearms traction the torso over the thighs. Sway side to side gently, tuning into your breath and your reason for practicing today, finding this moment of calm and center away from everything else that's happened today. Tune into that inner sanctuary. Connecting to your breath. When you inhale, bend your knees, drop the tail, start to slowly make your way up. Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Reach your arms back behind you, and then reach your arms forward, bend your knees, anchor through your heels, send your hips back. Then press through the feet on the inhale, reach your arms back, thumbs down, and then bend your knees, sit down really deeply, whatever amount's available. And then inhale, reach back, look up. Exhale, bend, and then melt the belly toward the thighs. And as you fold, let your head go. Take your hands around onto your back for a little press. If it's available, interlace your fingers. Let your arms peel away from the back and let the head hang down. And inhale and exhale, bend your knees, laying your arms down alongside your back. Shift into your right foot. Pressing through your right foot, step your left foot back into warrior one legs with your hands interlaced behind your back. So find your bearings. Your right knee is bent directly over the heel. Your left toes are turning toward the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Your right thigh bone's lifting right up into the hip socket. And we spread the toes on both feet. Now keeping the shoulder blades drawing together on the back, sweep your arms forward and up into warrior one, the fuller expression, where you're lifting the rib cage up, right off the pelvis. Then inhale, straighten that front leg, reach up, look up. Exhale, press your hands through heart center and bend your right knee. Then release your hands to frame that front foot. Swing the left heel over the toes. Drop your left knee down directly under the hip. Tented fingers, slide your right leg back, tuck your toes, plant your palms a little further forward, ground your right heel toward the back of your mat and look toward your belly. And then lift your right heel so the right thigh lifts up into the pelvis. And then take your left hand onto your back, lifting that right thigh up. Your left hand can stay where it is or extend the left fingertips up. Look up at the hand in the air for your inhale. Exhale, release the left hand down. Now right knee to nose, and then lift the left knee and come on up into three-legged dog. Stretch that right heel high. And we're gonna roll our way into plank. Bring your knees down on your exhale, come into child's pose with toes tucked, hips to heels. Then inhale, glide forward, shoulders over palms. Exhale, hug your elbows in, come onto your belly. Take your feet flat for an inhale, cobra pose. Shoulders down the back. Exhale, hug the belly in, tuck your toes, meet back in downward dog. And pedal out your feet. Find a restful quality in downward dog with the fingers spread really wide and the head hanging down, tractioning the spine. If you want to pedal your feet, lift one heel at a time, feel free. Smooth, steady breathing. Now raise your heels high, come all the way up onto tiptoes. Keep lifting your sitting bones as you tiptoe forward, all the way forward, right between your thumbs. Now inhale, halfway lift. Hands are on the floor or your shins, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, fold belly to thighs, Uttanasana. Wrap the hands behind your ankles or calves. Press through the feet, drop the tail. Reach your arms up into Utkatasana, fierce pose, chair pose. Hug the biceps in toward the ears, and then bend your knees quite a bit. Swing your arms around, interlace your fingers with the awkward non-habitual finger on top. Let the arms peel away from the back. Broad collarbones. Good. Now bend the knees quite a bit. Start to pick up the back of the head. Shift into your left foot. Take a big step back with your right foot. And dropping the tail, gradually make your way up into Warrior One torso. Finding the four corners of both feet pressing. Left knee bending over the heel. Ground through the outer right foot. The thigh bones are hugging right up into the pelvis. And if it's available, sweep your arms forward and up into Warrior One with palms shoulder width distance, with your gaze neutral, straight ahead. Warrior One. Nice line from back of head to tail. Now inhale, straighten that front leg, lift up, look up. Exhale, bend your left knee. Release your hands to frame that front foot, swinging that right heel over the toes. And then touch your right knee down directly under the hip. Slide your left leg straight back. Plant your palms forward toward the front of your mat. Lift your belly. Look at your tail. Then lift that left heel up. Left thigh lifts right up into the hip. We'll come into that twist, dropping your left hip down. Right hip can traction back. Right hand can come onto your back, to your lower back sacrum, or your right fingertips can extend up and look at the hand in the air. So we inhale into the belly, looking at the hand floating in space. Then exhale, release that right hand down. And we're going knee to nose, left knee to nose around. Then lift your right knee and slide that left heel right up into three-legged dog. Then make your way into a plank. Bring your knees down. When you exhale, hips to heels. Come into child's pose. And then look between your thumbs. Should have put my hair up today. Snake your body forward, come down onto the belly. Now zip your feet together, rooting through the tops of the feet. Let's lift the feet and lift the hands and squeeze the shoulder blades on the back. For this variation of locust pose, inhale, fill the belly lift. Exhale, palms under elbows, press up into tabletop position. Walk your knees forward, cross your ankles, and press the hands into the mat as you sit behind your heels. Then bring your feet on the ground. Take your hands in front of the shins and inch your heels a little closer in. Flex your feet, reach down for the outside edges of the feet. So this is a fine place to stay. You may be able to lift the heels a little bit. You may be able to lift both heels more and come up into this variation of boat pose. If that's too intense, you can take your hands behind your calves, or you can just wait a moment with your feet on the floor. Drop your shoulder blades on the back, touch your big toes together, look up. Inhale, and when you exhale, open your knees, bring your soles of feet together, let your knees splay open, cup your hands around your toes, open your knees away from your hips, spread your chest, look forward. Inhale, look up, exhale, move into the fold. Good. And then start to slowly sit up and bring your knees in and slide your legs out straight. We're going to inch toward the front of your mat and then slowly come down onto the back. Find yourself on the back for a moment with your hands resting on your belly, gently letting your head roll from side to side. Breathing. Coming back to the breath through the nose as you rest on your back. And when your nose is in alignment with the belly button, bring your heels a little closer, flex your feet lightly, hug your right knee in toward your side waist and give it a squeeze. Good. And then slide that right leg out long on the floor. Hug that left knee in. Give it a gentle hug, tractioning that left thigh in toward the side rib. Now step your right foot on the ground and cross that left ankle on top. So it's a figure four shape with the left knee opening. Look at that left foot. The left foot is flexed. Let the knees then start to go to the right. so that that left foot comes into contact with the ground and your left knee is pointing straight up. And we'll take a little cactus arm and turn your face gently to the left. Or if that's too tense on your neck, look neutral or even down toward that left foot. And breathe here, feeling this opening down, hopefully through this left kind of lower back, side rib, hip area, and letting that outer right thigh from the hip to the knee fall into the ground. One more inhale, expand your belly in that twist. Exhale, draw the knees back into center, and then thread the needle coming into figure 4 with both feet flexed. Hands are in the right knee crease or the front of the shin. You can rock gently if that feels good, letting your mind linger on the most sensation that you feel. Encouraging gripping to soften and release with every exhale. And hug your legs a little closer in. Let's uncross and bring your feet on the floor. So we're going to slide that left leg out, hug your right knee in, give it a squeeze. And then step your left foot back on the ground, right ankle on top of left thigh for that figure 4. Now we'll do that same twist, a figure 4 twist. So you bring your right foot to step on the ground. As whatever is possible, we're working to have that right foot on the ground with that right knee pointing straight up. If that's too much, just let the knee drop down a little, that's okay. But let's try. And then cactus arms, look to your right. And then you kind of press that inner right knee away from your face and breathe into any tension that you notice and try to let that left outer thigh rest. And we find the space of the inhale into any gripping in the belly. And then you exhale, pull the belly in and draw the knees slowly back into center, and then thread the needle, right hand slipping in between that space in the legs, finding figure 4 for a couple gentle rocks, pressing that right back toward the floor. Soft jaw, soft eyes. Doing great. Then we're going to hug the legs a little closer in, uncross, bring the feet mat width distance apart, take a few windshield wipers. And then gradually take your time, let the knot. Bring your knees to knock in for a moment, press your feet into the floor and engage your gluteal muscles. Then slide the legs out for a brief Shavasana. And rest your hands anywhere on the torso, on your ribs or on your belly. Let go of gripping in the joints, the shoulders, the hips. Let the spine rest long from the base of the skull to the tail. Give yourself permission to fully let go and relax. And in that relaxation, encouraging all the systems to fall back in alignment, in harmony, in that effortlessness. Remembering any intention you had for practice today and inviting a gratitude practice for anything at all. Thinking of what you have to be grateful for a couple of moments. And starting to wiggle fingers and toes and eventually reaching your arms up overhead. Take a big full inhale stretch, resetting. When you exhale, gently draw the knees in, give a hug, and then slowly roll to either side and rest there for a moment before pressing up to sit, and I'll meet you there. Bringing your hands to heart center, thanking yourself for showing up, and great job getting on your mat today. I wish you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. Namaste. I'm super grateful for your presence in my YouTube community. Please subscribe, hit that super thanks, and you can even become a member for a very small amount and get some special badges and things like that. So you can check out memberships now on my channel. I'm going to be posting full-length classes for my members, so hour-long classes a few times a month. So please consider joining. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.